I'll do the intro, then you'll jump in what we're doing, and then we'll go to Roy.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Boy Toy Roy.
Check. We Gucci. We out here. What's happening, guys? Episode 44 Nothing Lose Podcast. I'm Tony.
Fo, I'm Joey.
Special guest Roy right here. Roy, what's up?
Hey guys, thanks for having me again.
We didn't get to know you, so now we want to get to know you. Get a little bit more.
Barely.
But before we start, I just want to give a shout out to Becky and Ricky.
Bobby.
New baby. Baby boy was born yesterday. 8 pounds. Hairy. Looks like Ricky Bobby, so light skin.
Did they pick out a name yet?
Yeah.
What is it?
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Shout out Big Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
And then I also want to shout out Evia. She started a nutrition and fitness out in Oklahoma, so if you want to follow them, that's a Lyft at Nutrition Fitness out their IG page. So they'll be offering tea, protein shakes, and all kinds of nutrition classes there at their thing. She's an avid supporter, so want to give her a shout out there.
Yo, Tis Nacho. All right.
Yeah, she changed her name.
Oh, for real?
Nacho, yeah. I tried to look it up as it's Nacho. You know when people change their IG name and you're like, what the fuck you do to me?
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst. But yeah, so shout out to her, check her out, check out the movement. So that's what I mean right there. That's the helping or supporting your friends that are doing something. That's just one little thing you can do. Just a little like, a comment, or just tell somebody about it. Like, it's not necessarily that you gotta buy their merch or give them some kind of finance help. It's just spread the word. Hey, we go out there, we'll spend $50 on somebody that we have no idea.
Yeah.
And we'll support them, and we'll put them on our IG store and all that, but our own friends are doing something and you won't do a repost or anything like that.
Yeah.
With that said, Joey, we got something new for him, right?
We do. We got a couple. We're gonna try something new. We're gonna get our shit together a little bit, and we're gonna be a little more organized. So that being said,
we're gonna take this serious. No,
yeah.
We've been taking it serious, but
yeah.
We see the thing like we like interviewing people, but we're gonna try to level up the interviews.
Yep.
So how are we gonna do that?
So first off,
first things first on the reels.
We're just gonna get to know our guests, right? Like we want them to tell us what they want to say, you know. So if you guys have any questions in advance, if we, say that who we're gonna have on ahead of time, and you're like, oh, like I've heard of that person, like let me get some questions in, then by all means submit them. But for the most part, I really feel like the guests should be the one to tell us who they are, right?
Yeah.
Give them that. So without further ado, Roy Lott.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So before I told you guys that I was a music writer, I write for this website called mixdown.com. They're based in LA, and basically I just write about different things. Like I mentioned before, I write about, topics about Drake, Korn, Slayer, just pretty much all genres of music. And I also write for Axis. I don't know if you guys have heard of Axis. It's like Ticketmaster, but...
Is it AXS?
AXS.
Oh, okay.
I call it
Okay,
Axis, yeah. So I write for them too. I do live reviews and I interview them as well. The last review I did was Travis Scott at the Pachanga Arena.
Pachanga? Yeah, didn't you, you saw Astroworld twice?
I did, in the same week.
In the same week.
Yeah.
It's
Good
crazy.
God.
Which performance was bad?
Oh, LA. Absolutely.
Showed out.
Yeah.
So you got to interview him himself, or you actually just asked questions through?
No,
or what was that? How was it?
I just
attend and like kind of
attend
judge.
and just judge and just give like 5 reasons why Travis Scott is awesome to see live.
Oh shit! Okay, real quick, run through them if you can remember the 5 reasons. Just like recap.
Yeah. First was I've said the production. Like he has a full-on roller coaster on the stage. He has this loop-de-loop circle ride that fans can ride on during the show, which is pretty cool. And also how intimate it was, just because how Travis Scott, he'll bring fans on stage, like on the roller coaster, and just going back and forth while he's doing Antidote and stuff like that. It's crazy. And just his music, like Astroworld was probably like my top 5 albums of last year.
Ooh.
And it's a great album. And just
how are you guys friends?
Well, I mean, we got other things in common, like our favorite, flavor of Celsius.
Okay. Was that sparkling grape, right? Or watermelon?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, you got that one too. So you saw Travis Scott perform, and you got in the top 5. Who else like that you've seen perform is at his level or like comparable?
Drake, definitely Drake. I went to his Aubrey and Three Amigos tour last year, and
I got a shirt.
Yeah, he got a shirt. Yeah, shout out to him.
You were there. It's like you were there.
It's like I was there.
No, it's just Drake. The stage itself was insane. Like he made this basketball court and had a fan come on stage, and the fan shot the actual basket in the hoop. He gave him like $10,000 on the spot.
Hey,
what?
What's up?
Did he make it?
No. It was like it had to be like a half court shot.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't make it.
I'm just sweating, man.
Idiot.
I can't be up there. Like, you got champagne popping like 25,000.
Yeah, right.
No big deal.
Ante up.
But no fans compared to like Travis's fans are insane compared to Drake's.
Yeah.
I would say. Like because the floor itself was a mosh pit, and they just like there's 4 or 5 different mosh pits going at once. It's just
okay. So that's
too intense.
That's like something that I don't understand about like hip hop concerts. How do you mosh to that? Like how do you?
It's him and then what's the other artist? It's not ASAP. It's another one that does it too. That has a. Anyways,
Berg.
It's like he starts it though. Like Travis Scott like initiates it. Like hey, mosh pit.
Yeah, I don't. At least when I went to Travis Scott show, like even before, like he had Sheck West open for him, the rapper, and even then, like they were just moshing to his stuff.
I don't understand. I mean, like I've gone to my fair share of like hardcore shows, and like I get it,
right?
You know, but I've also gone to hip hop concerts, and I don't really like moshing isn't really like on my to do list. You know? I'm kind of there to just like groove a little bit.
You're already trying to fight, just trying to get enough room just to move around.
Yeah.
So exactly, a mosh pit. It's even worse in Coachella when people are on drugs and he tells people to mosh pit.
You know that it's just like I can also imagine like a mosh pit if you went to like a Hustle and Flow concert, it was like whoop that trick. You know?
Just thought of the whole movie right now.
That's it though. That's it.
Yeah, I saw a video from before. Someone or a group of people were moshing to Jay-Z and Kanye's Ends in Paris. I don't want to.
I'm pretty sure that you can say it of all people.
Sorry, well, niggas in Paris.
Oh, what did you say? You guys.
The comments are gonna be like, Joe said that. And it wasn't wrong.
But yeah, I think that was pretty cool. Just having them mosh to that song was really, really cool.
So it's gonna be all over that.
I know, yeah. It's gonna be.
Joey, did you say what I think you said?
Cece's gonna have to watch all the videos, making sure. Hey, let me ask you something about that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's ever appropriate for people who are not of color to use that word?
Me personally, I don't like it just because who are you? Like, it's not.
Who is you?
Yeah. You know, it's just not. I can't explain it.
All right. Well, check this out. You mentioned at work, because we haven't worked together. I'm sure the people know that, but if they didn't know, you do. You mentioned at work how Travis Scott's Astroworld in San Diego was just like a bunch of like white frat boys who were there.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Scott drops the M-bomb a lot. So, I mean, do you feel like it's appropriate for them to sing it then, or?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm not going to hear it, but obviously because I'm up here, they're down there, but no. I just...
Ooh, I like that. When they go low, we go high, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm up here, and they're down there, so.
Well, yeah, it's just... And
I think it was talking about the seating.
Yeah, I know. It just whoop that trick, right?
Yeah, even sometimes, too, it's just, for me, I don't really like... I try to avoid confrontation, but I do have 2 friends that do say it, like on the regular sometimes.
Are they like wiggers though, or they're or are they just white boys who like to say that?
I feel like they're just white boys that just like to say it.
I feel like some people say it among their group of friends, so they say it in their group and they go, okay, we can say it among us, but when it goes out of this,
yeah,
that's probably like we established or seen.
Well, because there was like one time when it was one time that me and you and a bunch of other people went to True North, but there was this white guy who was obviously trying to be black. Yeah, but like we got into a little scuffle like inside the bar over some, and he was calling me it, right? But like he was white, like he was like you know, but. And so I was like, I don't really know like how to respond. Like what? What do I? Yeah. Right. So I mean, I don't know. Something.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Squeeze me.
I don't know.
Shit.
Interesting.
So,
what else about you that makes you Roy?
Something that somebody listening that knows you for so many years does not know about you. How about that?
Yeah.
Something that you hold back and you just don't want to tell people.
That's a good one. Not a lot of people know, but on Twitter I have Britney Spears, the Black Eyed Peas, and have you guys heard of the show The Nanny?
Yeah.
At all from like back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So the nanny herself,
Fran Drescher,
follows me on Twitter.
Damn, he's verified.
That's something.
That's dope.
Dope, man.
How did you get them to follow? Like you were early on in the Twitter stage, or?
Yeah. So Britney was back in 2009 when Twitter like first started out, and I took one of my friends to her shows. It was when, what was it? I think it was when Circus came out. I went to her show, and I just slid into her DMs. I was like, hey, Britney, like your show was really good. And then instantly after that, she followed me. I was just like,
damn, you slid in her DM. Britney, okay, all right, I see you. So your taste in music is really eclectic then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I go into different moods. One day I'm into
sounds like your
like Drake or
yeah, but I'm not like you're like that's opposite ends of the spectrum right there. Yeah, it's pretty. You know what? I gotta say that song "Toxic." That's my ish right there. That's my ish.
It's a good song. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's at a Halloween party.
Oh, we should. Yeah. When she was like the flight attendant or some shit, and she poisoned that guy. You know, right?
Oh yeah. That's actually when I stopped. Like I had a big Britney phase, and then I stopped right when Toxic came out, and I merged over to Beyonce after that.
All right. So that was about the time when Beyonce. What did she drop back in 2009?
I think Crazy in Love and
To the Left.
No, that was like 7. I think Baby Boy with Sean Paul.
Yeah, Baby. Shine the ball. Send the ball.
But yeah, wide range of music though. Like some days I'm into the 1975, other days I'm into Tame Impala, other days I'm into
Korn.
Yeah, it varies.
That's
nice.
Cool. I wish I had that.
What do you have?
I'm like hip hop and then whatever is like.
So close minded.
I'm close minded, but it's like, you know when you're trying to like, I still don't know any like hip hop artists. I feel because there's so many out there, and I want to get that genre. I want to have a genre jam, and then I'm like, okay, then I can open up to another avenue. But it's like so much out there.
You are so like that in a lot of other avenues of your life.
Yeah.
You know that?
I want to perfect something.
Yeah, exactly. And then move on.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna like.
Yeah.
Piggyback ride it.
100%. That is Tony right there. Yeah. Like you can't, I guess, multitask, right? When it comes to stuff like that, like you just want nail one and then move on.
Exactly. Yep.
Is there a certain?
Damn, that's crazy.
Would you say there's a certain subgenre of rap that you like? Because I know that there's hype rap and there's also underground rap. You know.
It's between the underground and the hype, because I can go through my Russ phase. I can go hard on Russ, like J. Cole, forever.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I can go Kendrick. Okay. So I'm not into the littles. Okay. I'm before the littles.
Okay.
And that's,
well, what about
Little Baby, Little Baby and Little Wayne. I'll give it to those two.
Okay.
Wow.
But you're not into like Lil Xan.
No.
Gucci. What's his name?
Lil Pump.
Lil everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Lil
Yachty.
I don't know what they're saying. I can't relate to them. Like I can relate to other like the people that were born and like, raised us and everything like that.
Right.
I have a question. If you want to, this is a perfect segue actually, because I was on Twitter.
Yeah.
I wasn't verified by nobody. Or followed by anybody famous. But yesterday the All-Star game happened. So this is Monday. If you're listening to Happy President's Day. This is Monday. And yesterday was the All-Star game. So J. Cole performed. Just shitted. Better performance than us. NFL halftime that we won Marine 5.
What songs did J. Cole perform though?
Middle Child. What else, Jen?
Love Yours.
Love Yours.
Ooh.
I'll
did a lot. So he did like "We Love You" 21 Savage, and he did his version a lot.
Okay.
So the whole thing about it was when they approached him, the NBA approached him, whatever, on Twitter, they approached him and said, "Hey man, you want to perform?" And obviously J. Cole's like, "Yeah, under my circumstances." J. Cole says, "It's got to be my fans. It can't be the people that paid to go to watch the All-Star game. It has to be my fans that we put on the court." So with that said, J. Cole had his fans there for free. But before that, he found out, let me make sure I got that right. We had to walk over 5 hours in another building. So they had to wait in another building for most of the time for 5 hours. He felt bad about it, for them having to wait for just a 10-minute show, because it was only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So he decided to do a private concert after the game at another venue, and of course, that was for free also. The whole Dreamville team performed, and Wale, and many other appearances as well. So
that's cool.
If that doesn't scream go or doesn't scream anything like that, keep
J.
it
Cole,
that.
J. Cole, he's like the coolest guy ever.
Let alone
Yeah,
I was like, he almost done on Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he went out there. Everybody brought out everybody for their dunk contest.
Oh yeah, well he's like legitimately tall. He's like 6'5", right, or something like that.
So
he's huge. He's a big guy.
Yeah, the guy from the Knicks brought out his jersey from high school and wore it and had J. Cole like toss the ball up and he
serious?
He threw it against the cool.
That's fresh.
But that's since we were on the music kick, I was like, oh, that's a topic I want to talk about. But J. Cole has to be a top 5 on my list.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. You know what? Going back to that, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You said that Travis Scott was in the top 5 albums of your 2018. Mm-hmm. What were the other 4?
Number 1 was KOD by J. Cole.
That was my answer.
Like,
well, actually, my answer was
from front to back, absolutely amazing. My third one was Everything Is Love by the Carters, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Just because I am a big supporter of both of them, and the album was really good. And then the fourth one was by Blood Orange. He has an album called Negro Swan, and it was really, really good. Very R&B, very laid back. And number 5 was Sweetener by Ariana Grande. I like that one a lot, actually. And her new album, Thank You Next, is really, really good. I like it a lot.
Jen's over there like, preach!
Yeah.
She played that over and over again.
Yeah, every song.
Every song on there.
That's awesome, man. I haven't heard like a couple of those albums, so I'll have to check them out based on your recommendation.
Yeah.
One other thing about Roy I want to touch on right now, because like this is a fitness podcast after all. But
we have no category. If you'd like to submit a category, let us know where we fit on. Let us know.
All right. So me and Roy actually had like a bonding moment, because we used to work out together in the morning when I used to work out in the morning before Eric just shit on my dreams there.
Now he's not even worked out for 2 weeks.
Damn, he's in Hawaii.
His best life.
Aloha. Live my best life. So, Roy, I don't know if this is getting too personal, we can cut it if you want to, but he actually overcame a really big weight loss challenge. Can you expand on that for a minute, just so we can give some fitspo to our listeners?
Yeah, gotta use that hashtag.
So it's been
1 week since you looked at me.
No, it's been so 7 years. I lost 70 pounds, and I've been managing to keep it off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So high school days?
Or high school.
After high school, you graduated.
When I lost the weight.
When were you at your heaviest?
Oh, from middle school and all the way to high school.
Okay, so after high school is like when you lay down.
Lay down, got it.
But when people gain their freshman 15, where it's like, I'm gonna lose those freshmen 15.
No, for real.
No, check this out. I mean, if you're not following Roy on Instagram already since the first time we had him on, he's got some pretty dope pictures. And he's actually a lot more ripped than he appeared. He's always in these like baggy ass sweaters at work, and like obviously right now and stuff.
Like the people that don't look like they left.
No, not at all. It was the weirdest thing. I even like went back to Rihanna after that workout, and I was like, yo, I think Roy's ripped. But we were working out one morning, and I actually got him to sweat, because homeboy doesn't sweat over here. And he took off his sweater in the morning, right? And he was wearing this like Nike dry fit shirt, and like it was all like, you know, tight and shit. And I was like,
no.
What is this?
5 a.m. getting excited.
I think Anyway, so no, I even asked him. I was like, "You have a six-pack?" And then he was like, "Not right now." And I was like, oh, all right, too cool for school, Roy over here. Damn, but no, he's, obviously he put in a lot of work, and I think it's great.
Looking at him, like I've only met him, this is the second time I met him. Looking at him, I'm like, I wouldn't see he had like 70 pounds. I wouldn't think, like, I'll be like, oh, he's always been like this his whole life, or like around this.
You know what? That could be our album or our podcast cover photo for Roy, but he does have this Transformation Tuesday pickup on his Instagram.
Yeah.
That was like before and after, and Roy was a big boy.
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
70 pounds is a lot, bro.
Yeah, but not to get too deep into this though, but you overcame a lot of like, I guess, physical appearance and self-esteem issues as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Tell us about it a little bit, if you want.
No, yeah. Well, just like in middle school and high school, I would always be just the big kid to the side. Like if I, like for example, I remember back in middle school when we had PE, and PE was very hard for me at the time. I was just drenched in sweat, and I accidentally bumped into this girl who was really, really pretty, and she just like wiped it off, like ew. Like I was just like a,
That was middle school?
Disgusting creature. Yeah.
That was middle school. Yeah, it happens all the time in middle school. Like, I felt like girls didn't like to see guys sweat, or like like somebody next to sweaty. Like I would like, obviously you go to gym class and then you go back to class and you're still kind of sweaty, and it's like, oh, PE right now.
Damn. You both are traumatized.
No, but it's true though.
That is such a verbatim statement, dude. Did you just have PE?
And another thing too was back in middle school too, the coaches or the PE teachers, if you forgot your PE clothes at home, they would give you these things called
loaners.
But they would purposely give it to you like twice as small as you are. So like I had man boobs and everything, and I was just walking around and people were just laughing at me from left to right.
Yeah. And it was brighter colors, like if your colors were gray or something.
Yeah, it was like super bleached.
Ours were red.
Ours were yellow. Did you guys have cotton shorts, or did you guys have everything?
Basketball.
Oh, we had cotton, bro. It sucked.
Oh, really?
We had cotton shorts, and they would go up in here, so like already like chubby, and I'm like, how do I? Nobody really properly sag.
Yeah. Like I kept constantly pulling my shirt down like this, and they're like, "Damn, Roy!" and like just laughing at me constantly.
That's why I always bought 2 shirts, 2 shorts every year.
Oh hell yeah! They're only like $5 back in the day. Yeah.
But
shit, son.
So that at that point, you're like, fuck, I gotta do something, or like you just went on living like that, but that was like something that traumatized you, or?
That traumatized me, and just even just to be, I'm just gonna get more deep here. My dad would always look at me in disgust when he would see me, just because when I would go home, like every weekend, we would have pizza, and I would eat like a whole box of pizza with breadsticks, the cheese bread with the marinara sauce and everything, and he would just look at me in disgust and just shake his head all the time. And that kind of motivated me and inspired me to lose the weight.
Oh yeah.
Too.
Holy shit,
also,
man.
Yeah. It was
I don't think like, well, I'm not calling you white, but I feel like other races go harder on their kids when they see them obese, or and it's like your aunt and then your family gets involved and like, hey, you shouldn't be eating that, or they'll call you the nickname Gordo. My nickname was Ugly, bro. They called me Fail.
Oh.
I would be called Ugly to this day. So just like take it like that. Like I think it's more of a culture. Like the cultures are harder at you, and then you go over to see your relatives, and you're like, I kind of don't want to hang out because I know I'm gonna get shit for my weight.
Okay, check this. Well, I mean, I was also called Gordo when I was but side note. Sorry, I'm just gonna totally segment off of this, but. My mom's a grandma now, right? Because I Dexter, the dog.
You consider that, but okay, go ahead.
I was like, what?
Weird flex, but okay.
This is living my best life. So
he's not huge, bro. I saw those pictures from yesterday.
Oh,
dude.
See how big that wiener is? Yeah.
Ask me about my wiener.
You gotta lay it down, baby.
This is dope. I don't think we put that as a title, but.
No, so my mom came over obviously last night for dinner. Okay, she probably spoke 95% Spanish when she was over. Like she's in total.
You guys have wine or what?
She's in total like Mexican grandma mode.
That's dope.
Like complete Spanish, and like I'm responding in English because I can understand Spanish, but you can tell Rihanna was just kind of like, ah!
What happened?
Yeah, no, my mom just like she was going off on the,
Have you ever heard her speak Spanish like that?
Yeah, but like sometimes, you know, if my mom's mad at me, then it's like Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Yeah, Spanish all the time.
yeah, but I don't know. That was funny. Anyway, yeah. So I was raised in a Latino ass household, even though I look Blanco.
But I'm saying you can relate more because you have more white friends and you saw like their parents weren't like such.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. They didn't care about their kids as much as, you know.
Or they didn't pick on them like that.
Yeah.
Like they didn't like gentrify by how they looked.
Yeah.
I wasn't by my parents, but I felt like my uncles or my cousins were like, "Oh, you're fat," and then you get the boobs comment all the time.
Yeah.
When I was 13 years old, and I that's when I was like kind of just really awkward. I was like kind of ugly, you know. I had like the preteen acne, and I was like ungodly skinny, right?
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
grandpa.
sure.
No, I don't have that. Hell no, not. But
Can we put that on a shirt?
Yeah, for sure. My grandpa, who used to be the boxer and the bodybuilder, he like came over from Texas to visit, you know, and I remember him like scolding me.
Shit.
Yeah, where like it was so bad, like I was 13, but I was like crying. My mom was yelling at my grandpa in Spanish about like how he was so mean and like all this stuff. So like after that, I fucking joined sports, baby. Like I was like, no, fuck that, you know.
Yeah.
So.
So Roy, your dad hit you with those comments. So
Yeah.
as being your biggest motivator, do you still talk to your dad, or what's your relationship with your dad after that?
Oh no, we're cool now. It's just,
Is he like proud of you?
yeah, he's proud of me all the time.
Did he ever mention to you, like, you know, oh yeah, back in the day, like I used to kind of be disappointed?
Wait,
Has he actually verbalized that?
Yeah, he's like, back in the day, like I used to be really concerned about you because, like I mentioned, like almost every day after school and just during the week, just eating a lot and constantly just pounding down food.
Was it for comfort, or was it just because
It
you
just
didn't know
tasted
you
good.
would?
I love food.
Are you still a foodie now? But like you
Yeah.
check your macros a little.
Yeah.
Nobody around.
He's got so much self-discipline. You know what he eats for lunch every day?
What kind of diet do you follow? And then I'll guess it. Is it keto? Are you
No.
flexible?
No.
Just flexible.
Nope.
Chicken breast.
Nope.
Fish.
No.
Tilapia.
Nope.
Nothing. He passes.
Lettuce with lemon as his dressing. He'll have a box of lettuce, and he will have one lemon wedge, and he will lemon wedge on the box,
Drizzle it on top.
and he will eat that.
Have you ever had that big of a bag of salad like that of lettuce?
Hell yeah.
Dude, it fills you up though. Like I wouldn't need dressing, but like.
Not for me, I'm sorry, but like every time I go to Soup Plantation, I get like 3 things of salad, and I'm still ready to go, baby. I'm like, where the hell's that mac and cheese? Where are the muffins? You know?
When I was actually, when I was really tracking macros and everything, that was my dinner. Like it would
I'm
have
not salad tonight.
a salad, a big ass bowl of salad, and I would sit in front and have that salad. It would take like a while too.
It does. It's really
You're full and you're just like,
Yeah.
stuff.
And it's cheap too. Like you can get those small like iceberg Luggets packs at Walmart for like 98 cents.
Shit.
98 cents.
98 cents?
What Walmart are you going?
I was paying
It's
1
not
cent
a
more.
Walmart.
I was going to 99 cents store.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Well, that's
That's
probably
a good
the
one, too.
E. coli lettuce that you get. But
I'm still alive. Look at me now. I'm here.
Still killing it.
Not that.
I'm dying. It's cool.
I bet.
Está bien.
No, but no, yeah, I still talk to my dad. He still, you know, did mention to me that he was concerned back then, but now he knows that I'm fine. Like it's to the point now where, because I'm so disciplined that he'll get mad at me. Yeah.
He's like, eat something, damn it.
No, really though, he'll say like, you gotta get something, man, because my family likes to go out and eat and hang out and stuff, but me, I'm so strict that sometimes I want to let loose, but I never do for some reason. I don't know, it's just how I am. But
Oh man.
but they get so frustrated because, you know, they want me to have a chicken sandwich or want me to have a cheeseburger every once in a while.
Why'd it have to be chicken?
They love Chick-fil-A. What can I say?
Always create Chick-fil-A on a Sunday.
Nah,
Yeah,
hell
they're
no.
always closed.
It is closed.
Hell no. What is with everybody's damn, I don't know, Chick-fil-A for me, there's no sauce on the sandwiches.
That's why you get your own sauce.
Yeah, I know, but what the hell am I gonna do with that? No, I want it on.
You spread it.
No,
roll it on,
no,
you
I'm
dip
sorry. There's just something wrong with that. And then they give you chicken, buns,
We
and
just
pickles.
lost half of our viewers right now.
Oh,
listeners
get
right
out
now
of here with
they're
that, bro.
Chick-fil-A lovers and,
No.
You got a lot of hate right now.
Fuck that.
Add Joey.
But I mean, their fries are good. They're crisp cut fries.
No, they're not. They're not even seasoned. How are you saying that? They're not even seasoned, bro. It's just cut.
What do you like, In-N-Out fries?
No, well, I mean,
that got,
hold on.
that got shitted on.
I love the animal style fries from In-N-Out, right? Like all that stuff. But I mean, if I'm gonna get like the plain ass fries from In-N-Out, I'm not a big fan. You know what I like? I like Jack in the Box curly fries, all that seasoning shit. All right, I'm talking about
Five Guys has good fries. Like Five Guys Asian.
That bag is so
Red Robin. Red Robin fries with that damn tavern seasoning, bro. Catch me there, bottomless fries. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right.
Like as we're discussing this, a fry connoisseur.
Yeah, she just like slowly turned around in her chair right now.
Whoa, let me break it down for you.
There's one thing in this world that me and Jen will always bond on, and it's potatoes, baby. That's it. Potato chips, fries, anything.
No type. No type.
That's I ain't got no time. So you guys wanna hear a funny story?
Break it down.
I was at the dog park today, and there was this guy who had 2 dogs, and his dogs were playing with everybody else's dogs. So he like kind of got an audience, right? So it was like me, Rihanna, and then this other couple. So he had like 5 or 6 people that were talking to him about his dogs, and he was like this cool fitness guy. And he had this ball from his dog, and he was like, oh yeah, whatever. And he turned and threw his ball, right, for the dog to go chase. And as soon as he released, homeboy farted.
I don't know.
Did the dog go after it? Like who the fuck? Like the dog's like, hold up, is that you?
No, it was one of those, like you do a quick motion and like you just let one slip out. But it was like bubbly. So it was like, So I'm over here like trying to act like I didn't just hear that.
What was his facial reaction?
He like started scraping the ground with his shoe, trying to find a rock.
This was the noise. He shortly after this left.
He stuck it right to the out. Just like 10 minutes later, me and Rihanna are walking around, and I was like, hey, did you hear that guy fart when he did the ball? And she's like, yeah.
Who did it?
Oh shit.
Dude.
That's funny.
So I have a question for the both of you, and this is kind of I don't know how much time we got on the clock, but
32 minutes in.
I was
So this is our segments that we're gonna. So Joey texted me on Saturday? Saturday.
Yeah.
Shout out Edgar Chingon that couldn't make it.
I know.
Stuck in the border because of Trump, but no. But we want to interview people, but we also want it to flow. It's not going to be the same thing as like, hey, tell us about us, and us asking the same questions. So it's like what if scenario. So in a what if scenario, you get to know the guest more, and you actually get to see them as for who they are.
Yeah. So like their answers are going to tell us more about them than them telling us about them, right? So it's kind of like the general idea.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah.
You like it? Oh well. You hate it?
So I came across like, I don't know if it was a poem or something like that, the other day when I was just like scrolling through, doing my Google search bullshit that I always do, and it happened to mention something about like when was the last time you were in love with life, right? And I read it and I was like, whatever, pussy. And then I like started thinking about it, and life sucks. Life sucks. And everybody's always talking about how they can do better, how they can do more, how they need more money, how they want this job, how they don't feel successful. All these things, and like you hear about it all the time. And then you also got those like, kind of fake people who just are always like super positive, and it's like, life isn't like that either. Like life does suck, blah blah blah. And that's just a reality for everybody. And so I guess my question to you guys is, taking that into account, when was the last time that you can remember when you were in love with life?
That's deep. That's really deep. So
I would say for me, honestly, is now, like between last year and this year, to be honest with you. Just because for the past 4 years in college, my freshman year was really awesome. I had a great time, but after that, I went through a very dark period.
You went to state?
Yeah, San Diego State, yeah. And I think now just overcoming that it just shows that, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I don't know, I just think these past 2 years, like, my music writing has been going, I'm getting more exposure, and just, I Google searched my name the other day, and just to see my articles, like, on Google like that, it's just, it's absolutely insane. And
as an author, bro.
So it's just,
we have to search a podcast just to find our names.
We gotta search our ads.
No, but just doing that and like doing what I love, but then also just
How do you know that you're in love with life? Are you like how do you know that you're truly happy? How do you know that you're enjoying the rainfall? How do you know that you're taking in the scenery and you're, you know, stopping to smell the roses, proverbially or whatever, you know? Like, how do you know that right now in your life you are truly in love with existence?
I would say when I walk to work every day. So like I park like pretty much in Bankers Hill almost to work, and I walk to work. It takes like 15 minutes for me to get to work. Just put on headphones, and while I put on headphones, listen to music, I just think about life and what I've overcome the past few years. And I can say now that I'm in a really good place. These past 2 years have been, or past year and a half have been really, really good.
No, I don't.
Let me elaborate, and I can see where Roy's going with it, and I think we're kind of on the same page, but I can elaborate more. You love life when you're able to see where you came from and you overcome, and you're seeing where you're going, because there's a struggle. Not everything's peaches. You know, there's no rainbow. You're not happy every day. You go through a struggle, but you're loving the process of it.
Interesting.
So you're going through the daily grind.
That's a better answer.
You know that something's shit's gonna fall off. You know you're not gonna get through it, but you reel yourself back in, and you're like, hey, I've been through worse, and I know I can get through this too, and it's gonna be peach and green at the end of it.
Roy, give me a better answer. When was the last time that you remember being in love with life?
It's in love every day. You should be in love every day.
No, in love with life.
Yep.
You'll think about it. How about you? When was the last time you were in love with life?
Yeah. The last time that I was like, for sure in love with life was when I was 15 years old.
The exact day.
15.
What were you wearing?
What was I wearing? Probably some tight ass skater jeans and some, you know, whatever.
Jerkin.
Long. That was jerkin. Yeah, no. I was actually, I think, a senior in high school when Your Jerk came out. Maybe I was a freshman in college.
Have you seen him Dougie before?
Yeah, he did actually at the damn holiday party. And then some stupid white girl started fucking crumping in front of me and like blocked my whole fucking view. It's like, what the fuck you doing? Teach me what a Dougie is on and you're trying to like crump. What is? Oh, all right. Anyway.
But she was good though.
All right. Anyway.
I recorded that story. So
did you?
Can't wait to play it on Throwback Thursday.
With my damn button up all undone and shit.
Yep.
Anyway. Started crumping. Teach me what a Dougie's on.
So you were 15, you were loving life. Why?
So there was no external stresses.
Okay.
The only thing I had to worry about was like homework. Waking up on time. But not even, because at that point I was getting rides to school from my sister, I think, who was a senior, and like if I don't wake up, then she was gone, you know. So.
Did you have the privilege to start early because your sister was a senior?
No.
Really, you did?
Well, I mean, the way that Granite worked was like everybody, freshman and senior, had a choice to start at first period or second period, right? And then you would go till sixth period or seventh period.
Yeah, we couldn't. At Grossmont, like you started at second period if you were kind of like either elected for a first period, like you're smart, or you had a relative.
Oh no! By the time I got to senior in high school, I was leaving by lunch.
Yeah, nice freshman.
Yeah, I was like out by lunch, you know. But you know, being in love with life to me is just, you know, not having any external stresses and being able to sort of be free, right? When you're 15, you have no money, but you've never known income, so you have the same mentality of a person who has all the money, right? Because you're not stressed out about it, because you've never known it.
No, you don't have it. No, because somebody with a lot of money.
Well, I mean, but I mean, the mindset is the same in respect to you're not worried about it, right?
You're still worried.
I'm not. When I was 15, I wasn't worried about it.
A rich person's still worried, because that can go.
I was worried.
Yeah. about money at 15?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't.
Because of your household, or because of like you were actually working at 15?
No, just because like there were things that I wanted to do and I wasn't able to do them. Like my parents didn't, let me go out or do certain things, so I would have to save myself and just.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, but I mean, I would do chores if I ever wanted to do something like that. But mostly, I grew up in El Cajon where everything was sort of local, so I didn't really need many rides. I didn't really need that, and plus I had a skateboard, so I was getting around. Kick push. That's actually more of my era. That song is actually more of my era. Kick push. Teach Man a Jerk. That was a few years later.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that's probably why you were like happy to like kick.
Exactly. No, that song is
and
still
away
there,
we go.
Yeah. Just rebels without a cause, with no place to go. No. But I just like have this memory, and like sometimes I dream it. But I used to play lacrosse back in the day, and like lacrosse is fun, but the best part was preseason Saturday practices.
Yeah.
So you would have to arrive at the school like around 8 a.m. on a Saturday, and like that sounds like a drag, but bro, it was everything. Like just the smell of like the fresh cut grass, and like being there with all your friends, and going through the practices, and sort of having that, and then afterwards maybe you would all meet up and go get lunch, or maybe you were not, I don't know, but like just that sort of feeling of being productive, being with your friends, the smell of spring, this like for me, I was in love with life. I loved everything about life. I was completely happy,
And why do you, like, obviously you're not at that point right now, but why? What can you do to change?
Isn't that the $20 question, Tony? Isn't that
I
the
think
$69 question?
69.
Isn't that that's it. I mean, how can we go back to that sort of sense of freedom? Right? And I think that's really what I was in love with, was like a short sense of freedom. That I was with my friends, we were playing a game, we had nothing else going on than homework. That I didn't have to be anywhere at a certain time. Like now, as we were talking about your planner, we've got to be at the gym by X amount of time. We've got to be at work by this time. We've got to be home by this time. We've got to cook by this time.
Right.
We've got to be in bed by this time, so we can go to bed and stress about being up at a certain time the next day. Everything's so constrained by time. Everything's so constrained by this next level, this next step we have to worry about. And even if you're not worried about money, you're still worried about time. Back in the day, I had nothing but time. Back in the day, I just had to be at captain's practice at 8 a.m. and everything else was like, it was one of those things where when you love what you do, you go over on time. Like the scheduled practice was from like 8 to 12, but we would be there until like 4 p.m. Just doing what we were doing because it was fun. We loved it, and by doing that we got better at what we did. But I don't know. That's just what I loved. And
what do you love right now? What do you love doing right now? If
I
you had the time, so you take all your responsibilities.
If I had the time, what I would do is I would travel, right? Like that sounds really cliche, but a very specific reason. I would travel, and I was thinking about this the other day, but I would go to other countries and I would enjoy their food.
Yeah. The locals.
Yeah. And I would also take my dogs with me wherever I went, and I would give them that life where it's like
expensive as trip.
Yeah, but
would you include the dog?
But if I'm not worried about money.
Oh yeah, you're not worried about money and time.
Yeah.
So you'll be a traveling man.
I would be a traveling man.
I kind of can see it in you. I can see you like traveling and then just writing a little post here and there and sharing your stories online for people and.
I would just love to disappear. Not like that kind of disappear, but I would love to just sort of be a ghost a little bit, and like go where I want it to go and not give anybody any explanations on where I'm going, and just sort of do my own thing. Just like do what I want to do when I want to do it. I would love that freedom, and I guess me at 15, your mind is only it can only stretch to the bounds of where you're raised and where you're local. So for me, traveling the world was El Cajon, right? But I can go anywhere I wanted to at any time I wanted to.
Yeah, with no one stopping you.
Exactly, and that sheer sense of freedom. And then the next day was like, what else could we do like that? So going on that, like,
restate the question again.
Yeah.
And then Roy will answer.
So Roy, when was the last time that you were in love with life?
Probably when I was
damn, I told you today, Joe. This last year and a half, alright? I'm gonna stick with it.
No, yeah, I would still stick with that answer. Just the past year and a half, just having just living life and just, like what Tony was saying earlier, just like the process of, going through life and obstacles.
Getting through the obstacles, like, you're painting a Cinderella, like happiness, like obviously no bills, nothing, like no responsibilities.
Yeah.
We're thinking as like we have responsibilities, so how we're making the best out of it as life.
Alright, so obviously I've got a little bit of a golden age thinking said about me, right? Which is very dangerous. So, according to you two,
right,
what steps can I take without like quitting my job, going homeless, and not having any bills per se? But like, what steps can I take to kind of like reach that level of like freedom that I was used to, while also dealing with like the daily stresses of a normal adult?
You don't take things as a chore or a thing like it doesn't drag you like anything like. I gotta go to the gym. It should be something you look forward to. So if you don't look forward to the thing, then you might have to eliminate it. Like, hey, I don't look forward to, for instance, like, I don't know what else. Like, you go to the gym, you go to work, you go to podcast. But like, if you didn't look forward to going to the gym, then I would say like, hey, you gotta cut off the gym and find something else. Like, you might be a nature person, just go out in nature, So maybe I think I've seen you more happy when you're actually having those weekend activities like that. So a little bit more of the nature and going out there.
I would love that, yeah.
But obviously we can't cut work, so I can't tell you to get rid of that.
I know.
Kind of need that, have a roof over.
Yeah, I would say probably just to make time for it. I mean, I know that you said before, like, time, is very constrained, but I would just say, just make, even if it's like 10 minutes a day, or if it's 15 minutes a day, or 5 minutes a day, just try to find that one thing that you enjoy doing.
An ex-coworker told me something about time, and I was like, we don't have enough time. She's like, time is what you make of it. And like, she went into more, like, I wish like I can break it down like she did, but she just finessed it so nicely that I didn't think of time as just like a chore, or just like something like, I don't have enough time for that. It was just like, it's your mindset tells you how much time you have for that. So like, for instance, like people ask me like, hey, how do you have so much time for like going to gym, going to work, going to podcast, and doing everything you're doing on the side? I don't think about it as a time, I just think about like a to-do list or just like things I want to do. So like if you want to do it, you're going to have the time for it. You're not thinking about the time.
So I guess the priority has to be at a certain level for you to be like, alright, I'm going to definitely do that.
Yeah, I don't care if it's going to like take me over or I'm going to lose some sleep for it or stuff like that. I got to push some other stuff out to the side. I'm going to take care of that because that makes me feel good. It brings the best out of me. But you gotta go outdoors more. You probably gotta be more socialized with people.
This weather sucks, man.
Yeah. It was like we were driving out to go see the baby, and it's like sunny. I'm like, oh, this is great. Like 5 o'clock, you see the sun. I'm like, yes, finally we're getting it. And then we come out of the hospital, it's raining, freaking windy as hell, cold. I'm like, what the fuck happened? It was like an hour difference.
I know.
That was me at Disneyland. Like it was all sunny, happy. Like at 9 in the morning, then 2 o'clock appears. It starts pouring down rain. And it's just.
5 in the morning.
Do you have a pass or you just went because?
No, I got the that 3-day SoCal deal.
Dude, that's killer. Oh yeah.